This week on Jedi Alliance, we're talking about some fun comic news, some game news, and a really fun discussion, maybe, about about Star Wars' place in history. Let's talk about that and more all right now, so stay with us.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Jedi Alliance.
Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of Jedi Alliance right here on the Popcorn Talk Network. I don't know what Alexis is doing, but we got to get her on camera doing that again.
Oh, man.
We got the whole crew back. To my left, the one and only Michael Young.
Hey, guys. How is it going? It's wonderful to see your sunshiny faces. You can find me online at One Youngster, which is ONEYOUNGST.
Hey, speaking of shiny faces, Alexis Torres. And Giffit. How you doing, Alexis?
I'm good. My voice is slowly coming back.
Good.
Pretty proud about
Alrighty.
that.
Like, just to be safe, I made tea.
No, I think it's a good idea because there's a weird, nasty cold going around. You know, knock on all the wood.
Whoa.
So just letting you know. But you guys can find me, hopefully not. And oh my god, I can't talk.
Hopefully not in the sick ward?
Yes, at
Yes.
ATORS890. That's ATORRES890. And I also am trying to save my voice because the discussions we're going to be talking about is like real good.
USA Today brought up something really cool.
Oh, yeah,
excited to talk about that. We haven't. Before we go, welcome back, Michael.
Hey.
Sadly, we didn't have you last week for the Mother's Day discussion, but you were gone for a very, 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 very important reason.
Yes, it was my very first, that's right, wedding anniversary.
Can we get a solid yub nub for that?
Lisa, I love you, girl.
Oh, that's adorable.
Until Rosario Dawson walks in. Just kidding. Just kidding, I love you.
Alright.
I actually met your beautiful wife last weekend, and I love her so much. Like, I want to be her best friend. Just want to let you know.
Oh, wait, was that at the party?
Yeah!
Oh, yeah,
Dang it,
'cause
dang it,
that's
dang
why,
it,
That's why
dang
I said,
it,
yeah, we all
dang
need
it.
to do, we need to all go out. It's like,
Dang it.
That's
We'll
right.
do a triple date.
Because the Jedi Alliance is like family.
Yeah. Oh, you even brought that Vin Diesel up
Dom,
there?
get out of here, Dom. We don't need that family in here.
I need it.
We're
all
just
the
like
time.
we're just like really, really good friends.
Well, we're not talking about Fast and the Furious. That's next week. How did Fast and the Furious affect the Star Wars franchise? Not ever
at
going to talk
all.
about it.
Not at all.
And also, been reading the comments about last week's episode. Everybody was stoked to see Joseph Scrimshaw back, and I'm trying to bring back the folks in the fold who are very busy, but who helped make Jedi Alliance what it is and can help form what it can become. So thanks again to Joseph Scrimshaw for making it last week. We talked about motherhood in Star Wars. Go check it out if you haven't. But this week, speaking of motherhood, let's talk about childhood, because if you're a fan of toys. Did anybody have a Nerf gun as a child?
I had
still have them.
multiple Nerf guns when I was younger.
And everybody.
I had like the cool revolver one and everything.
Yeah, I
so-
still have that.
Wait a
one as
minute.
well.
Wait a minute.
You-
Those were only within like the past 6 years.
Yeah, but I bought some more when I got older.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
So
But when I was younger, I had that like crossbow one that it never
That
went
was terrible.
straight. And it was like, whew! It was like,
well, the fine folks at Nerf have created an exclusive Star Wars product through GameStop. We got a picture of it. I thought it was a paintball gun, but it's not. It is a Boba Fett. I forgot the line. You've got the gun line.
Nerf Rival Apollo.
Rival.
Yes.
So it's a pellet Nerf gun. So it's still supposed to be soft and cushy, but they're not like rubber balls or anything.
Yeah.
But if it comes with a face mask,
It's probably gonna
It might be
hurt.
pretty strong.
yeah. So these are going to be exclusive at GameStop. They're $89.99.
Did you hear that?
$89.99.
I'm
So-
sorry.
Are we gonna go in and sing it already? Are we just gonna sing it now? Or
We can do
gonna
it now.
wait? All right. Money, 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 money.
I can't go as high because my voice is so messed up. So I
We
enjoyed that.
should change to credits. Credits.
Credits. We don't accept Republic credits here.
Oh my god.
Republican credits will do fine. So yeah, it's a cool little thing. I'm not even a Boba Fett fan, but that's
does look
pretty
kinda
cool.
cool. It does
That's
look
pretty cool. And the face mask having the same painting as his helmet.
Yeah.
That's pretty baller.
It is cool. But $89.
$89 is a lot of money.
I'm sorry. I'm all about it. You know that I will spend all of the money on all of the Star Wars things. But Nerf guns, that was like, when we were kids, it was like we went to Toys R Us. You got to pick out one toy. At least in my family, you only got to pick out one.
Got one.
I always went for Nerf guns because you can have as many as you want. And I would never ask my parents. Or if I was a parent myself, I would never pay... with California tax, like $92 for a Nerf gun and a mask.
No. That's $100 with California tax. We're about 9%.
Are we?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No. That's actually down from 9.75.
I was thinking of like.
And I know that because when I did work in retail, I had to get all of the stuff right for people. But here's the good thing about it being from GameStop. You can just trade in your games.
Oh, that's
and
right.
then you can buy a gun with them.
You know, okay.
All right, fine. That makes sense. I'll give you that one.
Dude, I will say, having a whole bunch of GameStop credit and going in on May the 4th or Force Friday or anything and being like, I ain't paying nothing for this is great. So yeah, make sure to check that out when it comes out.
For GameStop to give you $90, you got to give them like all the games made since 2004.
That's actually not true.
Hey man, here's from somebody who served 2 tours of duty at GameStop.
Ooh, 2 tours.
Oh yeah,
2
no,
tours
2
of duty. There's a lot of that system that you can take advantage of. You just got to go in at the right dates, the right time. Hey, I just want to put $5 on this one game, which gives me 50% extra credit on everything else that I traded in.
Okay.
Or
There's a lot.
know somebody who works there.
There's that
I'll help
too,
you out as well.
and they also have discounts. There's a great story. I'm not going to get into it.
Back of a truck.
Oh God, no! Ugh. Try and fail. But something that is a great story to look up. There's a guy who used GameStop as a bank because it didn't charge interest. He would just come in on paydays and just be like, I want to put money on this, money on this, money on that, and then when he needed money, go in, cancel that. And then he would make a deposit from the GameStop bank. Look it up. No. We can't get off topic for it because we don't have a lot of time.
Oh, man,
but go check that out. You check that out too, Michael. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's talk about some comic book news. We got 2 big things that came out this week. We are going to get a one-shot about how Cassian and K2SO from the Rogue One story met.
So excited.
I'm so excited too. It's going to be written by Dwayne Swerinsky. With art by Fernando Blanco, and it's going to be a 40-page one-shot, so it's not a series, so it's going to be one issue, and it's just going to be how they met. There's no other information. We don't have a release date, but the fact that they already have a cover, probably not going to to be too long.
And a beautiful cover, too.
A very beautiful cover.
Oh my god, I want this as a poster so bad.
I would love to see any of the alt covers, the special edition covers that they have, too.
because it's Marvel, so there's going to be like 7 of them.
Correct.
So I forgot what the line was, but it took place right after the Battle of Endor, just because Marvel's put out so many different books. But one of their issue 1, they had an alt cover that was just a picture of Wicket. Like, not even a drawing, not an artist rendering. It was just a photo of Wicket just standing there. It's just like the promotional photo of Wicket, but it was like, all right, I have to get that because that's weird as heck.
It's like, that's strange.
Yeah.
He's like,
Who chose this?
like, so how did this one pass the decision makers and
people bought it? I bought it, so it worked. I'm case in point
don't buy
here.
it, I promise you.
I am patient 0. So when it comes to Cassian and K2SO, do you think that, and whoever wants to take the answer first on this, do you think this cools down the rumors that they're going to show up on Rebels this season?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Because they said that it'll get close to Rebels. It'll close to Rogue One.
Yeah.
But maybe not necessarily. The finale won't be Rogue One.
Well, yeah, I could see
I want to say we could probably see them, especially because Filoni loves his like droid episodes. So I'm thinking we might see K2SO, but no one else.
Yep.
I'm thinking we might see him and then no one else.
Alan Tudyk does a lot of work for Disney XD.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we'll probably see him, and we won't see like Baze or anything like that. But K2SO, I'm high on that one. I think yes.
That's smart.
No, I agree because I mean it'd be really cool to see the duo on there, but I think it would be more not beneficial, but I think it would be more it would be more fun to see just K2SO and having Alan Tudyk just kind of go.
Yeah, K2SO with what's his name? What's the
A5?
droid? Yeah, AP5 or whatever.
AP5.
Yeah. Man,
I think it would be so funny.
AP5, boy, that dude is hilarious. So yeah, those two going at it, I think that could be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I'd rather keep it that way.
Yeah, and if any sort of a meeting does happen, I hope it's within like the last couple of episodes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Staying on that comic kick, though, we got a Mace Windu series, a short Mace Windu series,
Yes.
coming from Marvel. Now, what I'm excited about is, did you guys see who is going to be writing this?
No, I didn't get to see.
No.
It's going to be written by the Luke Cage.
Matt Owens.
Yes, Matt
Yes.
Owens, who worked on the Luke Cage series for Netflix,
is so
and art by
awesome.
Dennis Cowan. It's going to take place during the Clone Wars, so not necessarily during a time that we don't know, but while other people, I think it's around the same time that the Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan or the Obi-Wan and
Okay.
Anakin took
Because
place.
those went on between 1 and 2.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah. And
Yeah.
At least I think they
Yeah.
did.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a while.
There's like the reason why we don't cover comics too much on here is because there's so much.
There's so many.
Like I'd say maybe when series end, we do a retrospective on the whole thing, and that way we can get the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would maybe we do the Kanan series, or because the
Okay.
Kanan
Sure.
series is done.
Yeah.
Instead of ongoing. That's a lot. Floppies are expensive.
Quick to the chat.
Floppies are
Yeah.
No, yeah, floppies are expensive.
Quick to the chat. I'm sure one of you guys know. Did they put Vader into a hardcover yet? Because I'm still kind of waiting for that joint.
There is as far as I know, the first quote season. That's in a trade, but the whole series, I don't think that's in one book
Okay,
yet.
cool.
Yeah.
Because I know there were 13 issues, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they're going to put it in a hardcover sooner or later, and that's what I need to get.
Interesting. Slim41 in the chat says Mace Windu ? Boo.
Yo, Mace Windu.
Mace Windu is sweet.
He's a cool cat. The problem is there are a lot of analyses as to why did it have to be Sam Jackson? He wasn't allowed to be Sam Jackson, but it was a departure for the guy. He got to be in some sweet fight scenes. We have an iconic character and an iconic lightsaber.
Yeah.
And I would say there wasn't the most iconic lightsaber in the prequel trilogy was Mace Windu's, because it's the first on-screen purple one.
And also the second best beheading in the prequels.
Correct.
Solid.
Kill him. Do it. He looked at him like, for real?
Like,
But why?
yo,
But yeah, I thought we were cool. That was a week ago.
about a week ago.
A week
Sorry,
ago.
that was bad. Never that song ever again.
Paul and Chaz, do you think this will pave the comeback for SLJ in Star Wars, a prequel anthology film? ?
I'm sure he wants. I would like to see
He loves this role.
young Sam, like young Mace Windu.
That would
Yeah.
be awesome.
Like,
But who would play that? An unknown, I guess, right?
I mean, the go-to for a strong young character of this nature, I think people go straight to Michael B. Jordan.
No, I don't want it.
Yeah, because I don't
want it.
think.
I mean, I love him, but no, I want an unknown.
yeah,
I want an unknown too.
because
Yeah.
the kid who would play a young Mace Windu, it depends on how old he is when he plays him.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we know that person yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely down for that, because regardless of how people feel about Windu, he was right about the Emperor the whole
Correct.
time. He was right about him the whole like he walk around and Samuel Jackson be like giving him mad side eye, be like, I don't know what it is.
I like this fool.
Jedi side eye.
No, he's giving him that Jed eye.
Oh,
Terrible.
I'm so sorry.
we'll be here all week.
Yeah. But no, I mean, if Michael B. Jordan did play him, that would be fine, because I'm all about like just putting more black people up in films. But I would love to see an unknown, because I would love to see a person really take in this character and
Yeah.
make it their own in that aspect.
And it's
And
also,
also, oh, go ahead.
we've talked about it before, like for the Han Solo film, seeing people that we know, it's hard, especially as characters that
Yeah.
we've seen them as before. It's hard to accept that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because you're
okay.
like, that's not that person.
Yeah, like
I've seen that person before,
Yeah,
and
like-
that's not this person.
Exactly, because I know some people who weren't like really big about Donald Glover playing Lando, because some people were like, but I know him from Community, or I know him from his rap, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's going to be a totally different person because he's playing a character.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Sure.
Yeah, but those, there are people that have that kind of look. But I think this could give people the opportunity to see Mace Windu's strength, because he's supposed to be touted as being like the sweetest human, like at least in the council. So like there's
the coolest warrior.
or the coolest warrior. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you got like Mace Windu, Quinlan Vos, and like Obi-Wan. We already know Obi-Wan. We know how he gets down. He kills people in 3 moves. So it's like that was sweet. I wanted more, but that was sweet. But Mace Windu. But Mace Windu, I think, has some room to grow before, maybe like just as he's becoming part of the council, when he's still kind of like out there doing field missions,
Or here, let me.
strength.
They released a statement. Marvel released a statement with Matt Owens, who said, "No matter how well trained for battle the Jedi are, having to actually put those skills to use is another thing entirely. The preferred tools of the Jedi are diplomacy, harmony, education, and peace. Now they find themselves leading troops on battlefields across the galaxy. They're going to have a lot of thoughts about this. Is this really the way to peace? Is this the position I should be taking? Is this really the path the Jedi should be walking down? Doubt is understandable, but what each individual does with that doubt is very telling of who they are and where they will end up."
That's deep.
That's super deep.
That's fantastic.
But
Yeah.
that's the thing that makes me wonder, well, are we going to get miniseries from every member of the council, or
Also okay with that.
yeah.
Yeah, at least well, I mean, Yoda's kind of already sort of been handled. So Mace and I can't think of the guy who taught Ahsoka now, and I can't think of his name.
The guy who taught Ahsoka?
Well, not
Anakin Skywalker?
No, not Anakin. He like mentored her before.
Yeah, I see his face. I don't remember.
Yeah,
his
I
name.
know what he
I
looks
can't
like.
think he has the mask.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat. You guys know. But I wouldn't mind seeing something on him either. Because all of those guys have like cool looks. Like Quinlan Vos looks cool.
Oh my god, why is my brain not working? I cannot think of
I cannot think of his name.
I'm just hearing Ahsoka go master, and then it goes.
Yeah.
I cannot
can't.
think
It'll come
of his
up.
name,
It's
but
just-
it'll be in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think all of those, at least the cool looking guys, should get a shot. Also, like Shakti, I like to see, because she's more.
I like to see Shakti
She's
as well.
more of like kind of like a peaceful.
Plo Koon.
There you
Plo
go.
Koon, thank you.
Because I was like Poe. No, that's Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron.
So
Everybody
yeah,
said
like,
it all at once. So thank
Shakti,
you.
I think Shakti would be a good one because she's so peaceful. Maybe something that would drive her to actually drawing her saber, because she rarely does. Even in that storyline with the clone that has the brain chip issue.
Yeah.
Oh,
malfunction.
yeah.
So she's very kind of mild mannered. And I'd like to see maybe another side of the Force with her, like being more peaceful, maybe more meditation-y, and all that stuff.
In that same regard, I would want to see an Ayla Sakura.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sakura.
That was
I think
Sakura.
Sakura?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
The Twi'lek Jedi Master,
Yes.
who we only see a little bit of, and we see a lot of her in the series. But I would like to also see this just get extended into a full series. Like
Okay.
if they have one story that they want to tell, this one 5-part story, maybe hey, let's get, because why names and Sundays are bad days to do this because it's the weekend
like-
and it's
Yeah.
like it's
It's
supposed
like,
to be
what
the
is
day
that
when we're returning.
Yeah.
There have been previous series that were like, where it's going to have this long of a run, but we're going to give it 3 more issues or this
Yeah.
many issues. So maybe if there is more story to tell, they give them a little bit more if it ends up being successful.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
All right, so moving on from here, we've talked about Battlefront 2. We're excited for Battlefront 2. As of right now, we are scheduled to go to the EA Play event to play Battlefront 2.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
But we don't know too much about our new hero, Iden. So the fine folks at EA have released a video this week telling us a little bit more about the world that we live in. So let's take a look at that video right now. Oh, them graphics.
Oh my god, he's so
Motive
pretty.
came on board to specifically do the single-player campaign for Battlefront 2. We had our team from Lucasfilm Story Group, we had our internal Lucasfilm Games production team. We kind of all huddled, and they were like, "We have a pitch for you," and we were like, "Cool, let's see what this is."
We knew when coming into Battlefront that we wanted to tell a soldier's story. And, you know, we'd seen a lot of stories from the heroes of the rebellion.
They pitched us a story that would span from Return of the Jedi through to the events of The Force Awakens. One of the great things that they included too was like, we want to do it from an Imperial point of view, because it hasn't really been done, at least not in that fidelity before.
Our new protagonist is Iden Versio. She is a loyal member of the Empire. She's an elite Imperial TIE pilot. She comes from an Imperial family. Her father is an admiral. She is the perfect candidate to believe in the good of the Empire.
And I like that deep music.
Yeah.
Something that we really wanted to get into in the story is to kind of get inside and meet the people inside the Empire. So it's not just a faceless stormtrooper who's part of a legion who all believe in the same thing uniformly. Stormtroopers and everyone inside the Empire, they aren't conscripted, they aren't forced, they aren't brainwashed, they aren't programmed from an early age to believe. And what we do with the audience is we take them to a place where they can understand Iden and why she makes the decisions that she does.
Impossible.
There's some really great character and gameplay moments, right? And as somebody who's on the development team, story is really important to me, and we've all worked really hard to craft something we're incredibly proud of. And so I'm excited for fans to get this game in their hands, to be able to play as Iden and Inferno Squad, and there's some really cool single-player gameplay moments that I'm excited for fans to get their hands on too.
That stuff.
Yes.
So they talked about how Iden will come face to face with different heroes of the rebellion, and there are going to be different like side missions as well, where
Cool. Yeah.
you'll be able to play as heroes in various situations. So Iden, I'm about to look up, see if there is a release date for the Inferno Squadron book yet, which is going to serve as a prequel for the game. It shows how they came together. But July 25th, 2017.
Wow.
Cool. I wanted. Oh wow, July is going to be really busy. But
July is stacked.
actually, that'll be right.
That's
That'll-
around Comic-Con.
That's
isn't it?
right
right-
after Comic-Con.
right before
Okay.
or right after.
If not after,
I think it's
then
right. It might be right after.
I think
yeah.
it's after.
Because Comic-Con's usually the last full week of
Yeah.
July. So oh god.
It used to be the first week. I'm really glad they're not doing that anymore.
Man,
Because I thought it used to be around. Or am I thinking of Anime Expo?
Anime Expo used to
Anime
be before July
Expo is
weekend.
Yeah.
July 4th.
Yeah,
usually.
because I always think it's like
Yeah.
I always get anime, and we don't need to get into it,
Regardless,
but yeah.
Oh, actually, speaking of anime, I couldn't find the chapter of Lost Stars
I
when it
know,
first
right?
came out. I couldn't find it on any
I couldn't
manga
find it
hosting
anywhere
sites.
either. Yeah.
So if anybody is reading that right now, please let us know
Yeah,
on
let us
Twitter.
know in the
Jedi
chat.
Alliance Jedi Alliance Pod Twitter. I got it.
You got it?
Don't you worry. I got it.
hey.
And or on our individual Twitter, ma'am, or in the comments down below. So yeah, in the trailer we see her meet Luke. Putting your head into the mind of the stormtrooper, not like a game developer on how you beat a boss or anything, but putting your mind in the head of a stormtrooper. What's your strategy when you go up against Luke?
It's got to be, if you're going up against Luke or any Jedi like that, it's got to be like Cad Bane or like Boba Fett. Bunch of tricks, explosions, diversions. It's more evade and escape than fight.
Yeah.
Now, Cad Bane actually did way more fighting than say other people have done, but it's still more of a let me evade as good as I can and just get out of here.
So more of a run strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More of a like evade, run, get out of here. Unless you're Cad Bane, because that dude does not play.
Alexis, do you have a strategy?
I mean, a strategy. Yeah, I feel like I would feel like you need to be more on the defense, I guess, in that
Yeah.
aspect. I feel like trying to be on the offense would probably not. I don't know. I feel like it depends also on the person, but I feel like if you are going to go like the Boba Fett route, you would need to be that kind of like, ducking and dodging kind of thing. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think evade is actually the best way. So, I don't know.
Wait for him to make a mistake.
Yeah, I feel like that's
yeah.
a great way. Like, especially as a martial artist, you usually wait for your opening.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be the best possible way to do that. You know?
Best possible way. I would say if there's anywhere where you can get close, shoot him in their saber hand. So that it not
Okay.
only disarms them, but then they can't hold it. Then you only have to deal with like force stuff.
Is that what we're always cutting off Jedi's arms and stuff?
Probably.
That makes sense. I get it now.
I mean, because you
Okay,
can't
okay.
you can't deflect that.
Unless you're just gonna start like lightsaber in the mouth kind of thing. It's like, ah.
Ooh, oh, that would be
Wow.
so bad.
You know, okay. All right. I know
Because
this
you
is.
know, like pirates and stuff. Like you think about that,
Yeah.
like little like lightsaber daggers. Like, it's,
All right, I know
Cutting
this is
people.
completely separate, but
Oh, no.
the guy from Naruto, I can't remember his name, but he fought not Kakashi, but he had all the swords. He had like 10 swords,
yeah.
and he would like bend them in his arm and stuff and do flips. If a Jedi could do that, God, that would be sweet.
No, I
I
mean,
mean,
I
you
was
can't really do that, but I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he had like the blades everywhere, and
yeah.
he was like,
thought you were
trying
gonna
to,
go-
I
like,
love that
track
you
it.
brought that. I love that you brought that up.
I thought you were gonna go Zoro, who would have saber, and then one in his mouth,
Yeah.
and he fights with a three sword style.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. That's fine. I brought up Animu too.
Yeah.
Oh, he fought Sasuke. There you go.
There you go.
So let us know what your strategy for beating Luke would be
Let me see.
if you were a regular old trooper. Down below, it's be silly, reference anime, reference anything else. Why not? We're here for it. So the last thing we're going to talk about, just because it'll probably take a several amount of time, if I'm speaking proper
Properly.
English. Proper English. An article came out from the USA Today about how everybody might not be celebrating the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. Michael, you shared this with us. Do you want to tell us how you found it and what it's about?
I was just searching around to see like if there were any extra like celebration stuff that I didn't know about or anything, and I came up on this article, and it's like the title of it is Star Wars turns 40. Not everybody is celebrating, and I was like, that's interesting. Let me see who the hater is. So I read it, and the story follows, or the article is on this film studies professor who says, when Star Wars and like Jaws and blockbusters came in, it kind of drove out what would be the more artistic, the more exploratory films, the more kind of like indie kind of storytelling, and the indie kind of like the way of directing and stuff like that that wasn't so tied in with marketing and so tied in with like promotion and all that stuff. And he definitely is not happy with any kind of blockbuster. He's not.
I have thoughts.
So
not
it's,
pleased.
it's a lot of film studies people,
Yeah.
a lot of like, I mean, I guess what I'd put is film professionals.
Yes.
And years of study went into the field that they are currently invested in.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of this stuff where it's opinion, really.
Yeah.
And not to say that there isn't any validity to it, but yeah. Like, it was an interesting article, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but without Star Wars, we wouldn't have people dreaming of that big scope thing. Because while, yes, there are too many people that are trying to make blockbuster films, just like there are plenty of people who are like, hey, can you make me a viral video?
Yeah.
That sort of mindset.
That
Or
is
a best-selling novel.
Yeah, hey,
or whatever.
write a best-selling novel. What?
It's like I don't know.
Maybe I write a good book and then people buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is an unfortunate side effect.
Yes.
But without that, we wouldn't have gotten so much of what we have in film today.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I wanted to discuss this a lot is because I have this argument all the time. I have a coworker. I will not say his name. He doesn't work here, if that helps.
That does help.
Yeah. So he doesn't
Thank you
work
for popping that in there.
Yeah, well, because AfterBuzz TV is, we're all really awesome people here. Like, we all...
So you're saying this person isn't really awesome?
Well, no. This person is awesome, but he's...
normal awesome.
So look, so this person that I work with at my day job, he's a person who's worked at Sundance or for Sundance for a long time.
Okay.
And he is I think he's a cinematographer or something, or a cameraman. So he's done film, he's seen film, he calls himself a film connoisseur. Whatever. Anyway, so anytime that Star Wars is brought up at our job, he's the first person to be like, oh, are we talking about this? And it just goes into this long discussion of how Star Wars is overplayed. It's like it's the same story over and over and over. The characters are all this and this and this. And I asked him why. Just one day I was like, just why do you hate it so much? What did it do to you? Do you
Yeah.
need a hug? And he was just like, it's it's not something that is like I don't know the word, but yeah, it was a one-time blockbuster film that they're trying to milk money
Yeah.
all the time, and he's sick of it. And I was like, okay, interesting. So that's it? And he's like, yeah, because like Jaws was amazing, which they brought up in the article.
Yeah.
Star Wars, I can't remember the other film that they brought up in there. There's a lot.
Jaws.
Was it just Jaws?
It was Jaws.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like the fact of like these things, you know, like it broke film for a little bit, and then eventually now we have a whole bunch of different shark movies, and now we have Star Wars. But I just don't understand how you can hate something this much. Like I don't get it, because clearly it shouldn't matter. I don't know. I don't want to throw this poor man under the bus already as it is. It like he looks sick after anybody talks about it. I don't understand why.
And even right now, is Cannes still going on, or is it finally over?
I as a festival, yes, but
But there's still news dropping from it.
I think it's still going.
So I mean,
As of Friday, it was still going.
Yeah. So there's still like you got Sundance, you got Cannes, you got all these things that celebrate indie film, and you don't see people. It's weird. You don't see people that love, like, say if you love. Like we were talking, I love Terminator 2. When films that are in Cannes come out, I'm not really super into them. Some of them I'm like, oh, that's nice.
That's a cool concept.
Yeah, that's cool. But a lot of films that are like indie films and stuff like that, and there are tons of indie films that come out. Don't believe that there aren't. But I feel that a lot of indie films don't have the replay value that films that aren't indie have.
Yeah.
So, let's see, any indie film I could watch and be like, man, that was, heart wrenching. That really touched me. Man, that's great. But I will never watch that again. I'll be like, oh, that was really good. But I'm not going to like City of God. City of God is a really good movie.
That's a really good movie.
I'm not going to watch it again, but I'm going to watch Bad Boys 2 like 30 more times before I die. Like I'm just being honest. Like I'm going to watch it.
It makes sense. There are certain things that
That's a low number.
Yeah.
It's low. You should be in the 50s.
That's a low number.
But I understand where you're coming from. Like
Yeah.
I understand that there are certain films. I can't remember what the other one was that my fiance showed me, but it was just it touched my heart, and it also moved me and inspired me to do a lot of things that I'm doing now currently.
Yeah.
But again, I won't watch it for inspiration again. It was that one time, and it made me feel good, and I would just talk about it at that point in time. Star Wars, all the Terminators, question mark.
All the Terminators.
All the Terminators.
All the Terminators.
Even like all the Star Treks. Like it doesn't matter. Like those are the ones that I can rewatch, show my kids, and it will mean something to them instead of watching this one film and it's just like, okay.
And but also like they're talking about when movies change. They talked about the end of the studio system, which was just, we got money, let's make movies. Just make movies, make movies. They were dealing in people, not necessarily in movies. It was like, come see this movie because it's a Frank Capra film. Come see this movie because Frank Sinatra is the star. Come see this movie for whatever reason that isn't, oh, it's the movie. And because some of the times, okay, cool, it's a white Christmas, but other times it's not, Good
point.
So back when the studios were dealing like that, they were more for volume, so movies would be cheaper.
Yeah.
So now these two movies come out that are bigger budgets because they're trying to create a different sort of atmosphere than things that can be shot on one studio with flats like a theater show.
Yeah.
And it changes cinema, I would say more of a detriment to cinema is the overuse of digital effects.
Yeah.
There are places for digital effects, but properly mixing them with practical, sort of like how more of how The Force Awakens did. While yes, of course, there were many digital shots because sometimes that's just easier and cheaper. They still went the extra mile to be like the Millennium Falcon was a set. That wasn't a green screen. and the surface of the planet, they made the trees on Starkiller Base.
Yeah.
They made a forest to fight in, with a blue screen behind it, but they made the surface of the planet. It wasn't just all blue screen. Like some of these movies are.
Yeah, and I think two great examples are like Force Awakens and Mad Max. Those two films blended, very well the digital and the practical. And I think we live in a time where people are like, it has to be indie or it's not good, or it has to be blockbuster or it's not fun.
Yeah.
And it's
that's a great way to put it.
No,
short and sweet.
Yeah.
And I think there are fun indie films, but as a whole, their replay value is lower than blockbuster films. But that doesn't mean that blockbuster films can't be deep, because there are deep themes that they play with.
Case in point.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy is the blockbusteriest blockbuster space adventure, and the first movie, which I don't mind spoiling at this point. I will not spoil too because it's still
like 4 years old.
Yeah. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 4 times its first week in theaters with 4 different people. I love that movie.
It's good.
And it's a thing where it gets to this point where at the finale, the big final fight is a dance off, and then it gets super serious, and as Gamora is like, here, Peter, take my hand, it's just a couple of seconds, but it flashes back instantly to the beginning of the movie where Peter's dying mother is saying, Peter, give me your hand. It's like, I'm trying to feel like happy that they're winning the day, and then you made me cry. There's a lot that it fits into a small thing, and it's the perfect example of, well, here's something you can do with a lot of money. There are a lot of people that don't deserve to make movies with that much money.
Correct.
And it shows, and then they don't make movies anymore.
Unless that movie churns out a crazy profit. But, I feel that Star Wars as a whole for the film industry was great because all of the things that came out of it was, yes, you can not like the marketing thing, but now you have a way to support smaller films. And a lot of film buffs or film connoisseurs don't understand that studios use these blockbusters to bankroll buying films at Sundance, at Cannes, and stuff like that. So and I know people are going to jump on me, but when Transformers makes $1 billion, that allows Paramount to then buy a lot of smaller films that you can say, oh, this is great. This makes me think.
I can't believe they're doing another Transformers movie.
I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, but then you don't notice the executive producer list includes Optimus Prime on it, and you're like, well, yo, what up?
Yeah, no, for real.
He's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
But it allows these bigger budgets and these larger takes at the box office allow a lot of smaller films to get in front of us that normally would not be.
It also inspires the next generation of filmmaker.
Yeah.
How many people, like even of the current slate of directors of Star Wars, we're all like, I remember seeing that movie when I was a kid in the cinema. I was there the first weekend. Like, without Star Wars, we wouldn't have film.
Yeah,
Period.
That may be overreaching just a little bit.
But
we wouldn't have
agree,
film.
Though.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I agree because when Star Wars came out, even though I wasn't born yet because I'm a baby, but it shook the ground so much that there's so many other directors to this day now who are making stuff that might be a little close to it, but it's just paying homage. And the fact that if we didn't have that, there would be a lot of movies that you probably really love or a lot of directors that you really love that would not exist today. So I'm not saying that, yes, okay, Disney probably uses a lot of their money for profit, duh, but at the same time, it has done so much more past that, yes.
And speaking in the same vein that you mentioned, Disney, once a year they put out these really small movies with big names. Yep. Without Force Awakens, we may not have gotten The Queen of Katwe.
Yep.
Which is an awesome movie.
Awesome movie.
So good.
Great movie.
Or $1 Million Arm.
Yep.
Or what was the... Or Radio. Those
Radio.
smaller ones with big stars, so you can pay the big bucks for the best actors to do these amazing inspirational scripts.
Yeah.
Yeah, all about it. Really quickly.
Yeah.
Did it go by? Okay. Paul Anthony Maglea says Star Wars is technically the most successful indie film of
Correct.
all time.
You know what?
It,
That's a
it
good
did
point.
come
Yeah.
through 20th Century Fox, which
Yeah.
is a big
It did.
studio, but it was an independent film.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's funny because at the time, they did not believe in that thing.
No, they did not.
They did not. Which goes to what we're about to tell you guys at home. From Jedi Alliance, when people are against you, all types of adversity, remember that even if people don't believe in you, you can still do it.
Dun, 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 dun.
The more you know.
But no, it's just
Oh,
funny
that's so nice,
imagining.
Mark.
It's just funny imagining them like watching the dailies or the first cut and be like, "That's stupid. Nobody will watch this." And then it's like,
Look
hit.
at that. Yeah. Like immediately.
And it's like, I mean, because it came out, and even the guy references in the article that that movie did well because that movie did well.
Yeah.
Now, I guess one of his issues is that movies are doing well due to their marketing, I guess, instead of the movie on its own merit. But we live in a different time
I was gonna say.
where you're battling for a lot more attention.
Because attention spans are so short.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like
there's way more than just TV now.
Yeah.
You can watch. You can watch on your phone. You can watch.
I
on your
can
PS4.
play Bejeweled,
Yeah.
or rather, I can play Star Wars Puzzle Droids.
There it is.
Yeah,
TM on my phone
TM.
for an hour and a half,
Yep.
instead of going and watching a movie, and now it's free. I can. I mean, you pay for your phone, you pay for your service, whatever, data maybe, but there's a lot. There's a lot,
Yeah.
and so it's having the time to. We have an entire show about Star Wars.
Yeah.
For goodness
And there's-
sakes.
that I can think of. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I can think of. Probably like 5 Star Wars shows that I can think of, and I'm sure that is not in any way all of the Star Wars
Oh
shows.
God,
no.
no! There's
God,
so
no,
many.
no.
So I can think of 5 offhand. Of course, Jedi Alliance being one of them. Jedi Alliance, like the big finger.
We are
The
number
sports
one.
finger.
No, please, nobody at home, give the big finger to Jedi Alliance. This is a family
Well.
show.
The family show.
Thank you.
No, just do the SpongeBob number one hat. He
My-
was
He's
number
number
one.
one.
But I mean,
Schmitty Morgan, Jägerman Jansen?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's the same thing. Just like I don't know how long ago. It might have been changed now. But I remember when I was in college, the average human who waits for a screen to load, like on their phone or their computer, it's like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to entertain someone for 2 hours? Get out of here.
It's,
Get out of here. That's
so,
not how this works.
To bring somebody into a theater and say, okay, sit down, watch this for 2 hours, you're going to have a good time.
That's tough.
That's tough. So I think, and no diss, I'm not going to say any names, but there's a lot of indie directors that are getting promoted up to blockbusters and finding just how hard it is to make a blockbuster. Because the idea is like, oh, blockbusters is easy, just make explosions. Oh, no.
No,
A lot harder than you think.
Yeah.
And also, you also have to navigate the studio system a little more.
Yeah.
Because when you're making an indie film, it's like you and you're like the approval process. But when you have, say, Lucasfilm and Disney as the approval process, it's a little different.
It's a lot more.
It's a little different. So, I do understand that indie films are needed, but blockbusters are also needed as well. And I just feel like more of the flames come from the indie side than from the blockbuster side. Because the blockbuster side is like, I don't care. I don't watch
As
it.
you sit on your giant amount of money.
Yeah.
It's like I don't watch those, and they don't trip on it.
So this has been an amazing conversation. Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Yeah.
Anybody have last words about the Alexis? No.
Watch Star Wars all the time.
I mean, I don't think you have to say that for this audience.
May
Yes.
25th is the anniversary of the release of A New Hope.
Yes.
Watch it again and support. If you do have, like, we have the benefit of having a lot of smaller theaters in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
If you have an opportunity to see smaller films in theaters, do it. If you have friends or family or friends of friends that are trying to make independent films, support them on
Yeah.
Kickstarter, Indiegogo, whatever they're trying to do. That, like, there's more than one way to get a film out there.
That's right.
Support it when you can. That's the best thing to do. Wonderful time, everybody. Thank you. I'm just getting hotter and hotter, but thank you everybody in the chat as well.
Yeah.
We had to sort of turbo through this show, but before we go, Oh, we need to talk about that. Garrett, we're going to talk about it. We're going to give you an update very, 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 very soon. But Alexis, where can the folks find you on Twitter, and what are you working on? What are you doing?
Oh, okay, so lots of things. I'll do it really quickly. So hi, I'm Alexis Torres. You guys can find me at atorres890 all over social media platforms. All my shows are slowly ending, so now that my weeks are starting to lighten up. Feels good. But Bob's Burgers is tonight. It's the finale, so you should join us. It's going to be me and
Freeing
Andrew.
up some more.
Yeah, I know. And but then we got Attack on Titan on Monday. Into the Badlands finale is also this week. Wednesdays, the 100 is also coming up. I think that's also the finale this week. Oh, my word. And then...
Into the Badlands is the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like all of them.
Already,
yeah,
man.
It's insane. There's only 10 episodes.
Well, yeah.
But don't fret. On June 11th, I will be working with another podcast company with a lot of my best friends and some really awesome people I work with called Trend Punk. Go to facebook.com, find Trend Punk, and you'll see that we're doing a bunch of shows. There is one called Designated Drinker, which is about beer, and it's fantastic. We have one that's called Cinema Punks, and then my show will be coming out called Batteries Not Included, which is a relationship dating advice show.
Aw, so it's not about the movie?
No, but we will talk about that, though. I get that every time I talk about it.
Amazing film. Batteries Not Included. Check it out.
We're just going to talk about the movie.
Michael.
You can find me online at One Youngster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA. Blind Spot just had its finale, so I am now all freed up for Jedi Alliance only, and also for Nerd Soul on Black Hollywood Live. You can find that Nerd Soul, one word, NERDSOUL.
You can find me on Twitter at Mark Donica. You can find the show at Jedi Alliance Pod. We promise we're gonna be doing the commentary soon. I think I finally figured out an appropriate time when we can do it. So don't you worry, it's gonna be coming soon. I'm working on a lot of stuff. Follow me on Twitter at Mark Donica for all of that. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this episode of Jedi Alliance. Because K2SO was deactivated to bring us this information.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.